What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having a great night. I want to get directly into the content because I don't have much time. This has to be a relatively short live. Anyway, tonight I wanted to discuss, as you guys might see on the title, the fact that Tonal is going to be suing Speediance. Now, I don't know if you guys knew that, but it was pointed out to me by a buddy of mine that Tonal is going to be, or is in the process of suing Speediance. I just wanted to get your thoughts on it. I wanted to let you know my thoughts on it. And I want to just talk a little bit about what's going on. So I have some notes here that I want to get to. First of all, in case you guys, welcome to everybody who's here, by the way. First of all, I just want to start with just kind of jumping into a couple of comments that I recently had. You guys might have noticed on a recent video that I basically said that now there's no point in having a Tonal because Speediance exists. Now, that's a very short recap of the video that I just put out. But, you know, I don't necessarily mean that you shouldn't be buying one. At the end of the day, if you watch the video I'm talking about, I was asked to do a video on my thoughts on whether or not Tonal is worth buying in 2023 and moving forward. And I knew that I would get a little bit of blowback, which is why I kind of tailored the video in the way that I did, letting you know that Tonal is amazing. It was amazing, but now there's something better. And so I'm grateful to say that only 2 comments so far in that video have asked me why I'm bashing Tonal. I just want to start off with letting you guys know I've been 100% with you guys since day one. 100%. I wasn't bashing Tonal in that video. If you listen to the video, you'll see that I gave Tonal acknowledgement and told them that, and told you guys that Tonal has a lot of good to it, and it has had a lot of good to it. But I'm telling you now that we've evolved. If I were to still tell you that Tonal is number 1 in 2022, 2023, I would be lying to you guys. So when I was asked the question, is it worth buying in 2022? 2023, is it worth buying? If I were to tell you, yeah, it's worth buying, you know, there's nothing else better, it's still number 1, it's still on top, I would be lying to you guys. So I was asked my opinion, and I gave you guys an honest answer. Never once in that video did I ever bash the company. I didn't bash them. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm telling you how it is. I'm telling you guys that Tonal was once on top, and it is no longer. In fact, my opinions in that video, I've been telling you that for years. For years in my videos, I've been telling you guys, do I think Tonal's number 1? What's good about it? What's bad about it? What's horrible about it? Why is it amazing? I've been telling you guys for years. So I'm just continuing to tell you the truth about the machine and the company. I'm continuing. So guys, there's no bashing going on. I'm not saying, oh, Tonal sucks, never buy it, it's terrible. Guys, when something better comes out, you better know that I'm going to tell you the truth, or else I wouldn't be honest with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So for anybody out there who thinks I'm bashing Tonal simply because I got a Speediance, guys, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I'm not here to convince you. I'm just telling you flat out you're wrong. Over the last 2 or 3 years, however long we've had this channel, I've been telling you the good and the bad about the company. So I'm just telling you, I'm just moving with the times. That's it. So anyway, guys, at the end of the day, we're here to talk about Tonal suing Speediance. All right. Not sure if you guys knew this was going on. Welcome to everybody who's here, by the way. Let's see. I just want to jump here. Okay, cool. All right, so here we go. The United States District Court, Eastern District of Texas, Marshall Division. I have right in front of me the paperwork on the whole debacle, and I made some notes. Tonal is demanding a jury trial. So they want Speediance in the courtroom, and they want Speediance to be tried by jury. So they want Americans to be in that courtroom, and hearing Speediance side and Tonal side. We're going to go over a little bit of some of the things that I really thought were important. We can't go over all the paperwork because it's like 75 pages long, right? But this is basically the lawsuit when it comes to this whole thing. Let me just hop down to my notes. Let me know in the comments, guys. Did you guys know this was going on? All right, so before we jump into the lawsuit, actually, I just want to throw out some facts because many people may not be up on the facts. I just want to let you know. Over the last like year and a half, 2 years, a lot's been going on with Tonal. They're not very financially stable anymore. Tonal has let go over 35% of their staff. Thank you guys for those likes, and thank you guys for all being here. They've let go more than 35% of their staff. You know, their trainers, a lot of their trainers gone. Ali Oradi, I think that's how you say his name. He was the CEO and the founder of Tonal. He stepped down from being the CEO. So now we have somebody else named Zell. I believe that's her last name, Zell. She is now the CEO. And Ali is still working for the company. Tonal has recently raised $130 million in capital to try to stay afloat. Now, you guys might have also heard that Tonal was having trouble paying the people who make the parts for the machine. I don't think that's changed. That capital, that $130 million in capital, that's going to go towards that, I'm sure. But last time I checked, Tonal is actually, they haven't been paying the people who make the machine, who make the parts for the company. So that's a huge deal. And Tonal has also raised their subscription pricing twice. I believe it's been in the last 6 or 8 months, something like that. So now it's at $60 a month, which is a lot of money. That's a lot of money, especially in an economy that's not doing well. All right. So I believe some of these problems personally are coming from a bad economic climate, right? Because nobody's really doing great these days. So many companies are having trouble staying afloat. Unfortunately, Tonal is one of them. You also have problems coming from forced subscriptions. Now, I've always said Tonal can go ahead and charge as much as they want and have forced subscriptions because that's their model. And if you buy their product knowingly, you really can't complain too much. There have been people who bought the product and then all of a sudden they expected to pay $50 a month and they upped it to $60. That's not cool. That has happened to people. But it is what it is. You're basically marrying a company and marrying their terms. But for subscriptions now are a thing of the past, right? Because you have companies like Speediance. You have a company called Gym Era, I believe it's called. They're not doing subscriptions. So people are tired of subscriptions. We're all subscriptioned out. The Pelotons, the Tonals, we're done with subscriptions. So the problem is coming for Tonal from the bad economic climate and from the forced subscription model that they have with their customers. And also, in my personal opinion, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. In my personal opinion, it's also coming from greed. It's coming from a standpoint of greed. Tonal, unfortunately, as you guys may or may not know, you probably do know, they remove everything from the machine when you stop paying. Now, originally, I bought the machine knowing that I would not keep the subscription. I was okay with that because all I wanted was a home gym. I already know how to train. I know what I'm doing. I don't like the subscription model. I don't necessarily like what it has to offer other than the dynamic weight modes. But Tonal takes everything away. They reprimand you. When you cancel your subscription, they take everything from you. And that's because they're like, they want you to come back. So they're basically holding it against you. Let me just check my my chat to make sure. Okay, good. Just wanted to see if I missed any comments there. But basically, that's what's going on. So that's where I think the real problems with Tonal are coming in. People are moving away from Tonal, not necessarily because the machine is bad by any means. It's an amazing machine. But because they force you to put it on your wall, you have to pay for that. and the forced subscription. And if not, they give you a bare bones machine. So I think those are where the problems are coming from. But let's jump into the paperwork. Over here in paragraph 20 on this paperwork, by the way, I'll leave a link in the description of this paperwork so you guys can check it out at a later date. But over here in paragraph 20 of this lawsuit paperwork, it states, Speediance directly targets current and prospective tonal customers, advertising itself as the quote-unquote tonal killer. Now, I've heard that term going around on the internet, but I didn't know that Speediance themselves actually coined that. I don't know if they actually have. This is just what Tonal is saying. Could Tonal be lying? Of course they could. The court would have to figure out whether that's true or not, and Speediance would have to go ahead and prove that that's not true. But this paperwork is saying that Speediance themselves is saying that this is a tonal killer. And I'll get back to the paragraph. And emphasizing the infringing product's purportedly similar features, including its digital weight system, electric motor, adaptive weight modes, interactive content, smart accessories, and safety features. On information and belief, Speediance copied these features directly from Tonal's home gym using Tonal's patented technology. So you have here Tonal saying that Speediance, pointing the finger, Speediance copied everything from us, everything from the motor to the smart modes, to the dynamic weight modes, to to everything, the rope, everything. Tonal is basically just calling Speediance out in this lawsuit, blaming all of their woes on Speediance. Because what's happening is Tonal is seeing that people don't want Tonal anymore. Everything I told you in that video was not just my opinion, but it's what a lot of people's opinions are. People are tired of the forced subscription, and they're tired of installing things that they have to pay for. So Speediance is basically blaming, Tonal's basically blaming Speediance for all of their problems at this point. And, everything, I have some notes here. The tablet, and it's all in the paperwork that you guys can see. From the tablet or the screen that Tonal has, to the handles, to the ankle straps, to the connectors, to the motor, even to the motor, which isn't the same, by the way. Tonal uses a one motor, and it's gearbox driven. Speediance uses two motors, and there's no gearbox in those motors. But yet Tonal is still blaming Speediance, even though it's a completely different motor, for copying their machine, right? The exercise programs. Tonal states that they're copying their exercise programs. So every single thing that exists within Speediance, Tonal is claiming Speediance went ahead and copied, even though there's a lot of differences. Now, what I don't see is Tonal going ahead and suing other companies. Peloton, Gym Era, any other company that's out there. I don't see Tonal suing them. Even though they might have screens, right? Even though they may have weights associated. It seems to me that they're very, very much threatened by Speediance. I think they think Speediance is taking over the market, and they're probably right. Anyway, let's get on with paragraph 21. Again, I'm selecting paragraphs that state a lot that I thought you guys would appreciate. And I will get to your comments after I'm done reading this. I can't wait to see your comments, guys. For example, like the Tonal Home Gym, on the right side below, you guys can take a look at this later. The infringing product includes a tablet that allows users to participate in interactive video exercise programs that provide suggested weights to users based on a strength assessment and users' characteristics. So Tonal is saying that only Tonal can have a screen and recommend weight. Not only recommend weight, but have exercise programs. That's what Tonal is saying. Okay? Paragraph 22. Also, like the Tonal Home Gym, the infringing product employs a compact digital motor that adjusts the resistance to the user at a particular point during an exercise, including by way of chain, eccentric, and spotter modes, which is true. Speediance has those modes. Tonal is saying that they're not allowed to have that, okay? And not only that, Tonal, this paper was actually wrong. It states that Speediance has a motor, right? Last time I checked, it has dual motor, 2 motors, and it's not the same type of motor. So that wasn't brought out here. It seems like that's wrong. But it doesn't matter. The court will have to sort that out. Paragraph 23. The infringing product also copies Tonal's innovative handle connector. The innovative handle connector. They're going down to the connectors, guys. Tonal is blaming Speediance, saying, you stole our idea for the connector. Even though the connector is different, completely different. The only thing that's similar is they're both ball joints, but they're completely different joints. It's a ball with a cord attached to it. Tonal is suing over that too. Let's go on to paragraph 24. Despite all that Speediance copied, and despite trading on Tonal's name by advertising their product as the Tonal Killer, its Gym Monster product is inferior in many other respects, which I'm sure that that's probably true. In many respects, it probably is. As such, one example, the device presents a high risk of injury to its users because it contains a heavy, undampened platform that falls rapidly to the ground when released. Now, if that is true, because I don't know, I haven't tested the Gym Monster yet. I will, though. I will be testing it in the weeks coming. But if that's true, that surely can cause a hazard. But at the end of the day, guys, when you're in the gym, if you drop a weight on your foot, that's a hazard too, right? You know, you can't go suing the gym for dropping a weight on your foot, just like you can't sue the company for taking something off the wall and then putting it down. You know what I mean? Tonal has had their installers, XPO, install machines that literally come off the wall and fall on the user. So, I don't know, guys. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Am I crazy? By the way, I just want to let you know, I'm not here defending either company. I'm just letting you know that this is happening and giving you my thoughts and opinions on it. I could care less what happens with these companies. Let them fight it out in court. At the end of the day, this lawsuit is probably going to be thrown out because there's so much copying in this exercise space. I mean, how can you go ahead and sue for everything? How can you sue for a ball joint? You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. Let's see. Let's go over to 25. Speediance has known of the asserted patents that Tonal has, and its infringement at least as of November 7th, 2023, when Tonal delivered to Speediance a letter notifying it of the asserted patents and its infringement. Okay? So Tonal went ahead and alerted Speediance in November of 2023, hey, you're copying our patents. And I guess Speediance was like, you can go take a walk. Because clearly they haven't stopped. They're doing their thing, and they're not, doesn't look like they're slowing down anytime soon, even with this lawsuit. Paragraph 26, Speediance takes active steps with the intent of causing its customers and users to infringe the asserted patents by encouraging them to use the infringing Speediance Gym Monster. So Tonal is mad that Speediance is encouraging people to use the Gym Monster. Okay? Such steps by Speediance include advising and directing customers and users to use the Speediance Gym Monster in an infringing manner by distributing instructions on its website, on Amazon, and in its user manuals regarding the use and features of the Speediance Gym Monster. All right. Now, let's just recap real quick. We'll recap real quick. Let's see. Before we recap, paragraph 62 reads, as a result of Speediance's infringement of the 112th patent, Tonal has suffered and will continue to suffer damages in an amount to be proven at trial. Okay, so recap. Tonal's pissed that people are buying Speediances. Tonal told Speediance, stop selling your product. You're copying us. Speediance has not stopped, and Tonal is blaming all of their downfalls on Speediance existing. Because as you read through this paperwork, you will see Tonal continues to state all these financial difficulties, and we're blaming Speediance. They're not blaming anything else, from what I can tell. Would I say that that's accurate to do? I really don't think so. I don't think they should be blaming all of their downfalls on Speediance, because even before Speediance existed, Tonal was kind of unstable monetarily. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Paragraph 63, Tonal is entitled to recover damages for pre-suit infringement because it has complied with 35 USC 287, at least by providing Speediance with actual notice of Tonal's claims that Speediance infringes on the patent. Look back at my notes. As a result of Speediance's infringement on the 112 patent, Tonal has suffered and will continue to suffer irreparable harm unless Speediance is enjoined against such acts by this court. So Tonal is depending on the court to go ahead and make a decision. Is Speediance wrong or is Speediance right? What do you guys think? Now, you're going to have a jury of 12 Americans, right? United States people. And they're going to be looking at a Chinese company. Speediance is Chinese company. So very likely, if this does go to trial, you're going to have a lot of, you're going to have those Americans going ahead and passing a judgment on a Chinese company. That, I feel, is a little bit unfair. Personally, I feel like a company, if they're bringing something new to the table, which Speediance is bringing something new, I don't believe myself that this is going to even go forward or that it's right. At the end of the day, Speediance has its own product and it's doing its own thing, just like other companies are doing. The mirror, for example, right? Tonal didn't sue the mirror. The mirror has a motor. It's a very similar thing. Excuse me, not the mirror. There was another product. It was a mirror, but with weights. I don't remember off the bat what it's called. But if you all are in the space, you know. There's plenty of other companies out there who are doing it. Except China's doing it better at this point. They're doing it a lot better. The product's cheaper. It's offering more, for the most part, more usability from its users. You don't have to get it installed. It's cheaper. It's offering Bluetooth handles, which even the Vitruvian is not offering. So it's really, really showing up the Tonal at this point. And there's no forced subscription. That is a huge deal. Huge deal. All right. Now, another thing that is a part of this, and again, I told you I'd have to be wrapping up very soon, so I'm going to try to rush this. We're going to go down to paragraph 183. Give me one sec, guys. Just getting over there, and then when we're done, I'm going to read your comments. Paragraph 183 states, however, upon information and belief, some or all of the reviews for Speediance on Amazon, now we're talking, because this was also a lawsuit that's involving apparently Speediance having fake reviews and false advertising. Some or all of the reviews on Amazon are fake reviews posted by persons other than genuine arm's-length purchasers of Speediance Gym Monster devices. FakeSpot is an AI-powered website that analyzes reviews, product info, and other aggregate data to identify and report on fake and unreliable e-commerce activity, including activity on Amazon. FakeSpot's mission is to empower customers to avoid e-commerce scams and to protect them from deception by providing transparency. As shown by FakeSpot, its engine profiled the reviewer pattern and has determined that there is high deception involved with the reviews of Speediance on Amazon. Okay, so I'm not going to finish reading that entire paragraph, but you guys can check that out. Tonal is saying that the reviews for Speediance on Amazon are all false, that the 5-star reviews were cherry-picked, and that bad reviews are somehow deleted. I can't tell you whether or not that's true or not. I have no clue. The courts will have to decide. One thing I can tell you, however, is something that I ended up finding out. The machine itself, the Gym Pal, right, from Speediance, they actually have some misinformation on their website. It states that the product is 55 pounds, but upon weighing it, I found that it was closer to 75 pounds. So right there, that tells me that there's a little bit of misinformation going on. Is that unintentional or intentional? I don't know. I can tell you that I've been using the Gym Pal, and I think it's amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. No subscriptions, and you get to keep your eccentric mode. You get to keep your chains mode. You get to keep your spotter mode. I can pick it up, roll it right into a corner or in a closet, under a bed, under a couch. But I can tell you it's not 55 pounds. So that is wrong on the website. So I can tell you there's some misinformation. So are the reviews wrong too? I can't tell you that. Now, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to get to the comments now. I'm going to take a look real quick. We've got a whole bunch of comments here. Mo Dollars. As a Tonal user, I've been complaining for a while to Tonal that they should offer tier-based subscription model where you pay for what you want. For example, $5 to $10 for a program versus $60 for everything. Mo, I've been saying that since day one on this channel. You'll find videos 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, maybe close to 3 years ago, where I said the same exact thing, and they haven't done it yet. Ryan Bolt. Tonal clearly sounds threatened by Speediance and sounds absolutely ridiculous what they're suing them for. I would agree, Ryan. I do think this will be tossed out in court. I think it's crazy, and I do think that Tonal is threatened. They are threatened, 100%, because you have Joey B over here, the Tonal mascot of the world, telling you that Speediance is a threat because it's so good. It's doing what it needs to do, and it's not burdening the customer. That's my opinion, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. N70. Anything that stops the CCP and their Chinese companies selling products in the U.S., I support. That's no problem. There's a lot of people, N70, who agree with that. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to happen. Well, not unfortunately. I have no clue if it's going to happen. A lot of amazing things come from China. And so, personally, I'm not against that, but I do know why people are. N70 also left a comment, Chinese companies always steal technology, lie about their products, and have fake reviews, and are backed by slave labor. I can't confirm or deny, and that's because I have not done the research. I have heard things like that, N70, but I have never looked into it myself. I can tell you, though, like I mentioned in my video the other day, at this point in time, China is setting the U.S. market free in terms of giving them a better product, in my opinion, from what I can see in my limited time using the Speediance. Very limited time so far. But I can tell you, I got the machine right here, and it's real, and it exists, and it's doing everything that Tonal did at a cheaper price point and without a subscription. It's doing everything. So is it horrible that China is going ahead and stealing information? If that's true, sure. Of course it's horrible. Nobody should be stealing anything. And the court will decide, right? Because we're going to see if this goes to court, who's right and who's wrong. But at the end of the day, guys, we're going to have to let the courts decide, and at the end of the day, we're going to support who we think is right, right? Personally, I got no problem with Speediance. What I don't like is the fact that, like I said, you have a spec on the website that was wrong. On the Gym Pal website, they did state, this is only the first thing that I've noticed that is a discrepancy about the machine. It states it's 55 pounds, but it's not. It's closer to 75. That's a big deal. Is it a typo? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the machine exists, and it is incredible. And it's giving you a tonal experience. It's giving you an electronic gym experience at a fraction of the cost and expense in general. There's other companies out there, though. You guys know other companies exist, and they do the same thing as Tonal. but they're not getting targeted. I find that to be interesting. Let's see here. We got N70 again. Similar to the US doesn't allow Chinese cars or Huawei products, Huawei phones. Correct. Yes, because apparently there's some shady things going on. But again, I can't confirm or deny. Mo Dollars. Tonal needs to streamline their own business model, innovate, and add more unique equipment, accessories, etc. Versus toying to blame their problems on other companies. I would agree, definitely, Mo. I would agree that Tonal does need to streamline. They need to listen to their customers more. And I think that I know that they can't blame their problems on Speediance. They are, as you can see from this paperwork, they are blaming all of their problems on Speediance. But there's certainly other companies out there who are doing the same thing as Speediance. Where's the accountability for those companies? You know what I mean? Speediance is doing things really well at the moment. There's other companies that are out there that are doing the same thing. They're just not getting as much attention. In my personal opinion, Tonal is scared. And they should be scared because they're broke. They're broke. They just were able to raise that $130 million in capital, but all that money's already accounted for. Last time I checked, all that money's accounted for. That money is already owed to other people. So what are they going to do? I don't know. Tonal is an amazing product. I want to finish this because I do have to end this now, unfortunately. I want to finish this by saying, guys, I never bashed Tonal for their subscription, never bashed them for at all. I'm just honest. And a lot of people don't like honesty. I know when to stand up and say, hey, something's great, and hey, something's not great. And at the end of the day, I'm telling you that Speediance is a tonal killer. They are. And if Speediance is not stopped, Tonal will cease to exist, especially if China is going to continue to give the American people the same experience without the subscription. So, it is what it is. That's my opinion. But Tonal needs to listen to its customers. I think Tonal needs a little bit better management over their funds. I think Tonal was in trouble before Speediance even existed. So, N70. Tonal certainly has tons of issues, but when competing against Chinese products backed by subsidies from the Communist Party is difficult to deal with. Of course, I agree. It's very difficult. China dominates the market in almost every single area. And while we all want to see the United States succeed when it comes to business, so we can all have, money in our pockets, everybody's accounted for. We have American families making money. Unfortunately, that's just not what happens these days. And it does go back to labor and all that stuff. But that's a huge, huge thing to get into. At the end of the day, the coined phrase, whoever coined it, tonal killer, it certainly is. Speediance, at least I've never used the Gym Monster. But I can guarantee you that if the Gym Monster is anything like the Gym Pal, it certainly is a tonal killer, because the Gym Pal is a tonal killer. This little thing on the floor right next to me is a tonal killer. It's a fraction of the cost. And so far, it works excellently. They're not doing petty things like forcing you to have the internet on when you're training. They're not doing petty things like basically taking away everything that makes the machine unique for the most part when you don't want to pay a subscription. They're giving the people what they want. It has to be said that if Tonal was better, they would not be threatened by Speediance. They wouldn't be. They would have nothing to worry about because people would see the Tonal and be like, no, this is absolutely better. I'm going to go with it. At the end of the day, that's not happening because Speediance is offering more. N70, appreciate you speaking about the situation. Thank you, N70. I appreciate you and your thoughts and your comments very much. These things need to be talked about. Thank you for leaving your thoughts. I truly appreciate it. Mo Dollars, been using my tone for 2 years now, and I do love it. I even called to have them give me 6 more months at $50 price, which they did. Very good. I'm happy to hear it. Hope they stay in business long enough to support it. 100%. I wish no bad on Tonal. Again, that video I put out the other day, I was not bashing them. I'm just telling you guys the facts. At this point in time, there is a tonal killer out there, and that company is Speediance. That product is Speediance. The Gym Pal and maybe the Gym Monster. I haven't tried it yet myself. So the threat does exist. And if Tonal was better, in my opinion, I would tell you guys. For years, I told you, Tonal's the best, Tonal's the best, Tonal's the best. No matter what other machine I compared it to, I told you, Tonal is the best. Until now. Because now it just isn't. Not saying it's not good, not saying it's not great, not saying it wasn't the first, not saying it's not amazing, but I am telling you the truth, the facts, from my eyes, from my point of view. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for sharing these almost 40 minutes with me. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Take care. Let me know in a comment what you thought about this video. Remember, not bashing the company, guys, just trying to be real with my viewers. Since day one, I've been doing that. Go back to video number 1. You'll see it. I've always told you the good, the bad, and the ugly about Tonal, and I always will. Have a great day, guys. Be safe. Catch you guys in the next video, huh?